Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Bear's Restaurant can be described as a narrative adventure game. It originally released on mobile back in 2019, but this particular version is the newest version of the game. It's the complete edition, and it hit the Nintendo Switch and Steam back in 2021. Before we go any further, I do want to shout out the developers of Bear's Restaurant, Odin Cat Games, for providing me with a code for the Nintendo Switch version. Alright, so here are 3 reasons you should consider playing Bear's Restaurant. Reason number 1, the story. Most people play video games for different reasons. Personally, I like to use video games for escaping reality for a bit and to totally de-stress. It isn't often that I play a game that blatantly touches on heavy topics that are extremely emotional and relatable. I don't want to give away too much of the story in Bear's Restaurant since this game does focus so much on the narrative. Just know that you play as a cat who's a waiter at Bear's Restaurant. Bear's Restaurant is owned by Bear, who is another main character in this game. Not only is Bear the owner of Bear's Restaurant, but he's also the chef. So he's behind the counter making everyone's meals. Now here's the thing, everyone that dines at Bear's Restaurant is kind of in this transitional period of life and death. They've just died, they've gone on, they've passed on, and it's your job to serve them their last meal upon their request. It really doesn't matter what it is. It could be an omelet, a hamburger, sushi, whatever the patron asks for is what you're serving. Bear will quickly find out that he's not the master chef that he thought he was, and he doesn't know the recipes of all these orders. Some of the orders, he has no clue how to make the food. So that's where Cat comes in. Cat, you will have to dive into a person's memory shard and learn the recipe from there. That's kind of all I want to give away about the story. You will find out more about the patrons as the game progresses. The narrative surprised the hell out of me. It's about grief, loss, love. There's a little trigger warning in there because it even touches on the topic of suicide. I also do want to point out that the story is extremely well written. Reason number 2, straight to the point adventure game. As I mentioned, Bear's Restaurant is an adventure game that relies heavily on its narrative. Now the gameplay is simple and to the point. This isn't one of those adventure games where you're solving incredibly hard puzzles to get a solution. For the most part, gameplay consists of conversing with other characters in the game, and the gameplay mechanics start to pick up towards the middle to the end of the game, but it's relatively a guided experience, and to be honest, that's okay. Like in some adventure games, I wasn't racking my brain and focusing on solving a difficult puzzle. I was more focused on the narrative and how it made me feel. And finally, reason number 3, it'll stick with you. It took me a little bit more than 2 hours to complete Bear's Restaurant. Since this is the complete edition of the game, there's an epilogue which features the cat as the chef and a new employee. I know this might sound crazy, but in the short amount of time that it took me to finish this game, it definitely made me think on a deeper level about life and how easily we take life itself in general for granted. I went all in when I played this game. I mean, the game does leave it up to you when it comes to like diving deeper into the reasons as to why and how these patrons ended up dying. And to be honest with you, it's kind of sad. At the end of the day, I honestly don't think I'm gonna ever really forget Bear's Restaurant. I do have a feeling that it's always gonna stick with me. And most of that has to do with the fact that this is a cutesy, like pixelated adventure that looks as if it's so lighthearted. But when it actually comes down to it, it's touching on some pretty heavy subject matters that you don't really see too often in video games. And to be honest with you, I truly do appreciate that. I appreciate the different approach. I appreciate the emotional side of this game. So those are 3 reasons you should consider playing Bear's Restaurant. If you've played Bear's Restaurant, let me know what you think about it in the comment box below. And on that same hand, hey, if you've played any game that has left an emotional impact on you, let me know what game it was and why. I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.